What's up, everybody? I have a new t-shirt on for those of you who like to keep track of these things. It says, I think, therefore, we have nothing in common. In honor of all the crazy people who've run into this week. Anyway, welcome to What the Fuck Tuesday, the live stream relationship advice show here on the Depsterism channel. We do this every Tuesday, going over letters that have been previously submitted by channel visitors. If you want to get your letter considered for advice on this show, please look in the show description down below, and you will see a link to the submission form. Just fill that out, and then we'll take a look at it and see if it fits the format for that week. May not get in that week, maybe a week or two later. But we try to get as many in as we can that are, questions that have general interest. Some people write stuff that's just so personal for them. They need to do the paid advice. It's not going to be a benefit to anybody but them to get an answer to that question. And so those usually don't get included. But let me see here. Hold on a second. You want that shirt? Yeah, this is the first time I wore it. I was going to wear it to the grocery store the other day. Then I said, nah, I'm going to save it. You pushed Mary Elizabeth. Well, good. I'm glad you made it here. Oh, your letter was chosen? Oh, well, let's see what happens. Hey, Canadian brother. One of these days I'm going to have to send an email to you and ask you, how come you say that 2 times? I've always been curious about that. Leandra, my little adopted niece person or something. I don't know. And I see Diana. I see a bunch of new people too. Well, it's good to see all you guys. Let's get started because we have, what does it say here? 25 advice questions plus 2 last minute bonus questions. That means 27 questions. Oh my God. Oh, Mika. Hey girl. Okay, let's get started. I hope my voice holds up. Look at this big old thing I ordered. Okay, I've been trying to make myself drink more water because I hate water, right? So I went on to my favorite store, Amazon, and I ordered this thing. Now, this is a gallon jug. And if you fill it up in the morning, you start drinking at 7 a.m., and then you finish at 8 p.m. I've done it twice, and let me tell you, the bathroom becomes your best friend because that water just... but it makes your skin look good. I tell you that. But I tell you, don't try to go nowhere. Don't try to travel in a car or anything like that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That would be a mistake. And on the bus or the train or BART or something, because they always like to get you stuck in the tunnel while they wait for some emergency or whatever. So you sit there in the tunnel for 20 minutes. That would be a bad scene. So only drink these gallons of water when you're going to be at home. That's what I got to say. Oh, thanks, Leandra. Well, we'll see what happens. Let's see how mad these folks make me and how quick they do it. Let's go with question number 1 of 27 questions for those of you who like to keep track. We got our regular 25 plus 2. She said last minute bonus questions. So they must have seemed pretty important for her to add them in at the last minute. So let's see. This is a female 30 to 35 age group from Tamworth, Staffordshire in the UK. I'm with my partner for over 4 years. We live together and we have a child together and another on the way. I feel like I pay for a lot more than he does, and I would love it if it was 50-50 or even 50-40, as I think that's fair. We both get paid on the same day every 2 weeks. I would get $100 more than him every 2 weeks. The house that we live in is mine. It's my parents' old house. And before I met him, I'd say I have 60% of the house paid off by myself. I pay my parents in loans I get from the bank. Once I pay off the loan, I get another loan and give it to my parents and pay off that loan, etc. I look at it as a rent-to-buy situation. I pay $350 out of my wages into this loan every 2 weeks for the house. In the 4 years we have been together, he doesn't pay a dime towards the house, but he does pay electricity and food, which comes to $170 every 2 weeks out of his wages. But everything else is on me when it comes to the house. If we need a couch, I pay for it. If we need a new bed, I pay for it. If we need to paint the rooms, I pay for it. If I buy a new rug, curtains, duvet covers, etc., versus basically anything to do with the house, I pay for it because the house is very 90s style at the minute. I'm doing up the rooms bit by bit, so I'm paying for that on top of the $350 a fortnight for the house. At the end of the day, I will never ever sell this house. This is the house I grew up in. So it has extremely sentimental value, and it will be left to my children. What would you do in my situation? Do you think he is paying enough by paying $170 every 2 weeks? I just see my friends and my brother and sister's relationships, and everything is 50-50. If they need anything for the house, they both pay for it. But in my situation, I pay when it comes to the house. We are not married. Like, I don't charge him rent or anything. He literally pays the electricity and food. It comes to $170. We go half on stuff for our son, so that's okay. But just when it comes to helping with the loan, he doesn't contribute. Just want to get an outside opinion. Am I asking for too much for it to be 50-40? Because I do get $100 more than him. Just kick him out. Just kick him out. And the money that you're saving from, that you think that you're saving by having him there, you're not saving anything, because you'll be using less electricity and you'll be buying less food. Plus, he'll be paying child support, and guess what? It's going to be a lot more than $170 for 2 kids. Okay, so that's but the main thing here. Okay, that aside, that's one thing that I would do if I were you. I would kick him out so he could see that what you trying to do, this little shady shit you doing, that's not gonna fly. Okay, that's one point. The second point is, I'm really wondering why you think that he should pay anything on your house. That's your house. Okay, his name's not on the title, and it never should be, because you're not married, and that is your inheritance, pretty much. That you're buying it. It's a family property. He has no business in putting a dime into that house. So on that note, I'm in full agreement with him. However, he should be paying more than 50% for the kid. Does he do 50% of the care for the children? No. I don't know any man who does that. Changing, his fair share of diapers and bathing and putting them away and playing with them and tidying up after them and preparing meals for them and all that. He ain't doing all of that. So, you paying for the house because the house is yours and it's going to be left to them 2 kids. But, the expectation that he should contribute towards the house or anything in the house that's going to stay there if he gets kicked out is unrealistic. Okay, you off on some tangent. I don't understand where you got that idea from. So what you do is you tell him that you want him to move out, and then you file for child support and watch him have to unask $400 a month, and watch how quick he's going to be begging to get back in there so he can pay that $170. He's a knucklehead. Yep. Say Sunday and I are in agreement. I'm like, get him out. That solves that problem. I don't know why people want to be living with people and having babies with them and doing all this stuff with them, and you're not married. What is this? I just don't understand why you young girls be wasting your time like that. Question number 2. This is a male in the 30 to 35 age group from Washington, D.C. I got someone flamed when I posted my thoughts on Facebook. Since that went sideways, I'm bringing it to you and the ladies of the squad to get your input. Well, it's probably not going to go no less sideways. It's probably going to go up and down like a roller coaster over here. My point was that men who are overly emotional tend to be mentally weak and thus don't make supportive or loving partners. Keep in mind, this is coming from a male now, okay? 30 to 35 out of Washington, D.C. So I don't want people saying, these women, they always saying this stuff. Okay, this is a dude. He's ragging on other dudes. I'm not talking about getting teary-eyed at a funeral or your kid's birth or wedding or maybe the college graduation. I'm talking about men that easily succumb to their emotions instead of invoking simple logic and reason. Do women really find strength and value in a dude that can easily get saddened, angry? What is this, verklempt? God, what does that mean? I remember that word. God, it's like one of those words you don't hear very often anyway. I can see that leading to so many other things, many of which seem to present themselves daily all over social media. My position is that men need to be an emotional rock for their wife/girlfriend and their children. Do you find that women who oppose this view see guys as projects, someone you can control, nurture, or maybe someone to cry with? I'm trying to figure out what the benefit is to women to have some overly emotional crybaby guy in their life calling him my man. What do you think? Oh, I'm in full agreement with you. I don't understand it myself because it's like you basically have a tall child. That's what I call them, tall children. They have a deep voice and beard and, and stuff, hair on their chest and whatnot, but they act like babies. Little babies, little toddlers cry like that all the time when they get frustrated or they don't have you don't get to give them the toy they want, or some little Johnny takes their toy at preschool and stuff like that. Or, you won't share your cookie. They fall out on the floor and start flipping around and stuff. And quiet as it's kept. I had an uncle. Let me tell you about my uncle. He's no longer with us, but I remember as a kid watching him one time. Something happened. And he was probably, I don't know, I was a little kid. He probably was maybe in his 30s at this time, maybe. Late 20s, maybe. Who knows? But I was little, probably about 7. And something happened, and he didn't get what he wanted. Something fell through or something like that. And he was talking to my parents, right? He was at our house. And he was standing up. He clenched his fist like this and fixed his face some kind of frowny way and started doing his hands like this and stomping his feet. My father looked at him like he was crazy because, that's his brother-in-law. And he just looking at him like, what's wrong with you? And my mother told him to stop. But it was basically what he did was a tantrum, a vertical tantrum, like one my baby brother used to do. He was like, 18 months old or something. And it looked exactly the same, except he was grown man and he was standing up. But all of this and the kicking, doing all stuff here, it was the same thing. So I am with you. I don't like it. I don't understand it. I don't know why any woman would want to have a man like that in her life and call it her man. I just couldn't do it. Now, he was talking to my parents. It wasn't about anything like that. It was some business deal or something. I don't know what. I don't remember. But no, it wasn't anything like that. They wouldn't have allowed him to talk about that kind of stuff with us there, right? Because the kids were right there. No, wasn't that. Whatever it was, anyway, he was mad because he didn't get his way about something. Whatever he wanted, it didn't happen. And that was his response. I was like, wow. Okay, let's move on. Question number 3. This is a female in the 46 to 55 age group out of Riverside, California. Deborah, please help me. My husband is gross and utterly disgusting. I do not want to have eggplant with him at all. He is a slob and he doesn't clean up after himself. He reached inside our hamper in our bedroom, got some socks, and blew his nasty ass nose on them socks. Oh. Now I don't ever want to reach in the hamper to sort out the clothes that need to be washed. I told him about it and he told me to grow up. Please help. What should I do? Well, part of me would just want to mess with him, and I would go out and get me a hazmat suit and then I would wear that around the house and just like really mess with his head. I would be like covered up like a beekeeper. And he would be like, what is you doing? I was like, I don't know where your boogers are. And I'm not trying to get any of them on me. I would just be messing with him. The other thing is, you're going to have to get like a pair of laundry tongs or something. So the stuff that's his, you fish it out and put it in a different basket from yours, or start keeping your stuff separate from his stuff. And then tell him he's going to have to wash his own clothes since he likes to put snot on everything. Yeah, for some reason, boogers have been a popular topic of conversation on this show. I just cannot with these people. Oh. But yeah, that's just gross. That's just, you're right. That's just nasty. I mean, I'm sorry I'm laughing because I know that probably just disturbed you mightily that he would have such a casual attitude about it. Expect you to be touching that. But yeah, that's what I would do. I would have to mess with him first. I would show up in a hazmat suit and then put it on Facebook or on the gram with a video of me saying, "This is what I have to wear to do laundry at my house because my husband blows snot on everything, and I never know what I'm going to touch. So I have," and I would just clown him into oblivion, like publicly, because he's just too nasty. But yeah, I would suggest getting separate laundry baskets and tell him he has to do his own laundry from here on out. That's the solution. Question number 4, female, 21 to 25, from Denver, Colorado. My boyfriend booked a weekend getaway, and he now tells me that we are sharing a hotel room with his other 2 best friends who are also a couple. What? I don't want to cause any problems, but I don't like the idea of sharing a room with 2 people I'm meeting for the first time. Am I being difficult, or is it okay for me to say no? P.S. I'm not a very social person, and I fall more towards being an introvert, and the idea of this is just dreadful to me. My social battery couldn't stand people for too long, especially if I haven't met them. He then said I could leave early and I don't have to stay the night anymore, which is annoying because I don't mind paying for the hotel. So he doesn't want me to pay, yet his only option is if I want to stay, I have to stay with his friends. Guess what? If you leave, the other friend dude is not going to want him staying in the room, sleeping with him and his girl in the same room. So he going to either have to get another room or he going to have to leave with you. He's imagining that's what he's going to do, but that's not what's going to happen, because the other dude's going to be like, man, no. You ain't here with your woman. You're not going to be here with me and my girl. Get out. That's what's going to happen. So, but this whole thing about sharing a hotel room with another couple, I'm not down with that. I don't know what kind of freaky mess they trying to get going. But, yeah, no. The other option is you come out of pocket, you want to stay the night, pay for the hotel room yourself. You know what I mean? That's your other option, because you sitting up here complaining about what he going to do with his money. You pay then. Since you the one with all the special needs and considerations, you find a hotel room someplace inexpensive, and then you go there. And if he wants to come with you, then he can. And if he don't want to, then oh well. Yeah, it does sound like some suspect stuff. But I'm not sleeping. I don't even like to sleep in the same hotel room with like my mother and stuff. I can get a separate room. I get them suites that have adjoining rooms with the little, the door that goes, you can go back and forth. I'm not sleeping in the same room with nobody. I don't like that. I just don't like it. That's just me though. But I'm definitely not sleeping in a room with another couple. What do I look like? And it's one bathroom? And it's 4 people going back and forth to the bathroom? Nah, I'm cool. But that's my suggestion. If it's really that important, you're going to go on this weekend getaway and that he allegedly booked, then you pay for the hotel, make him pay for everything else. Problem solved. Question number 5. This is a female in the 30 to 35 age group from Botswana. I need help decoding man speak. This is the second guy in succession to tell me that they can't handle, quote, the pressure, end quote, of the relationship. What does that mean? Do I pressure these men? I'm not demanding time or money. I do have high standards for character and communication, though. Basically, integrity is important to me. A man's word must be his bond. Oh, you sound like my twin. I'm open about my desire for marriage and family building, but I don't harp on it. I can talk about it in general, like discussing what they think constitutes a healthy marriage, their thoughts on child rearing, etc. But I'm not trying to cajole or trick these men into marrying me. It's very clear. What do they mean by pressure? This pressure issue seems to come up when the infatuation/honeymoon phase ends and it's time to start doing the real work of building an authentic and deep connection with someone. When I try to hold them accountable for some kind of bad behavior, this is what happens. Both times it was sent in a text that basically signified the end of the relationship. You would think that they were the same person. Their texts were almost identical. Please help me understand. I'm stumped. Well, what it is that you're dating dusties. That's all. You're dating dusties, and they're down for the fun, for the excitement, for the, intimacies or whatever is going on there. But, right around, I don't know what, you don't say, but I've noticed in my own personal life that it tends to be around 90 days is when this they have to make an assessment of, is this going to go forward? How do I feel about this woman? Do I want to give her more commitment or no? And in this instance, each one of them is no. But instead of just saying, yeah, this is as far as I can go. It's been great, but I'm not really interested in what you're talking, in going further into this, because I don't see where, we're going to have that kind of connection. That would be an honest thing to say. But instead, they play these games about, the pressure, because instead of owning their feelings, they want to flip it around and make you responsible for it and blame you like there's something wrong with you or the way that you handled the relationship. So by saying, quote, the pressure, it implies that you did something wrong. The real issue here is that the pressure that they feel on themselves, because they know they some ain't shit MFs. Okay, that's it. They know that the standards that you have, which are totally reasonable, they can't meet them or don't want to. It's going to require them to have what you call stretch goals. They're going to have to come out of their dustiness, and they don't want to do that. So the best thing to do is to leave you alone and go and find somebody else who put up with that mess. And they start the whole process all over again for another 30 days. Now, they don't want to stay with anybody that has standards, because, like I said, that's work. It requires them to give of themselves and to meet performance standards. And as long as you would be one of those kind of women that would take, pretty much anything, bottom of the barrel, kind of nothing, then they will stay with you, because they don't have to be required to do anything, and they get all the benefits. But when a woman starts having standards and makes demands on them, that's when they feel like, well, she's going to want too much from me. I got to dip out. Yeah, my daughter gave me these mustache mugs, all these. I have 4 different colors. Well, the main thing is, the bottom line is, I wouldn't worry about them not wanting to commit, because what is it that who are they? I mean, why would you want a commitment from somebody that's stupid like that? I don't know. I look at it different, because I just feel like, if a guy really wanted to be that dude, then he would be that dude. It wouldn't be anything that you'd have to really ask him for. He would change himself, because he wants you to think that highly of him, and he wants to be with you. So you got a guy who's not trying to change himself. He's not trying to grow. He's not trying to develop himself. He's not trying to better himself in any way. He's not trying to get a better understanding with you. He's not trying to do anything on a positive tip. Then a guy like that, you just get, so he the trash took itself out. That's the way I look at it. I really wouldn't worry about that too much if I were you. But, maybe don't stop putting so much emotion into your situation with these guys, and make sure that you're dating at least 3 people at the same time. Okay? And then you won't get so emotionally invested in any one of them. All of this discovery that you could have done with these last 2 dudes, you could have done that at the same time, and look at all the time you would have saved. Yeah. Well, she just wants to understand, and she said the main thing I think that she didn't get is how they could say the same thing. And it's like, that's why I say you're choosing dusties. There's something about this kind of guy that you're attracted to. And once you figure that out, then you can turn that attraction light off, because they're too similar. There's something about their mentality, some energy that they have that you're drawn to, or they're drawn to you right back. So it's it's a mutual thing. It's not just you. But whatever that is, that energy that you're picking up on, and that they're picking up on you, so that you guys are drawn to each other, that's what you have to figure out, what that is and what need you're looking to get satisfied by these particular guys, and it's never going to happen. Let's move on to question number 6. This is a female, 21 to 26 age group out of Philly. What do I do now that I'm completely isolated after cutting everyone off? I graduated college last year and spent the last year figuring out what I want to do and trying to find a job. I had a friend group I was clinging onto, but they were the type of girls who would act like they didn't understand what I was saying. They gaslighted me and played pranks on me. I clung on to them because it was hard for me to make friends that I kept. It worked with them because we lived nearby. I confided in my family and they said cut them off. I did miserable with them because I felt like they were competing with me, but I'm miserable without them too. I live alone now and I don't know or talk to anyone. I lurked on their social media a while ago, and all of them have so many new friends and they're all working, but I'm still looking for a full-time job. I know I shouldn't compare, but I question if I should go back to being their friends and talk it out. I just left the group chat and no one said anything to me. It's been half a year without talking to many people, something I'm not used to. What do you think of this? Should I reach out, or how do I even get myself out there? I feel like I'm not doing anything. Well, wait, where did you say you were again? Oh, Philadelphia. Don't they have meetups out there? You know, a lot of meetups, you know, they're socially distanced and everything, but, you know, you go and you hang around with people who are like-minded. A lot of them, well, I don't know what the weather's probably, the East Coast, the weather's probably not going to be that great for too much longer if it's still warm now, but out here it's hot as hell. But, you know, they have like groups that go bowling and hiking and, you know, out to eat and wine tasting and I don't know, they have all kind of stuff, you know, all kind of different groups. So you look at what's available in Philly and then you sign up and you go to some of them and you can be there by yourself and you meet people who have a common interest with you. You know, you guys are all there because you have the same interest. I used to love meetups. I would go to them all the time just to hang out and just to be seeing what everybody's doing. You know, I went to this vegan one time, but anyway, that's a long story. That was kind of whack. But, you know, like some of the ones I went to was just like, you know, the mommy group where they was escaping their kids for a night. Everybody got dressed up and we just went out and got drunk and hired a limo and stuff. I didn't know them women. They didn't know me, but we had a good time that night. Stuff like that. You know, we just did stuff like that. So that would be my first suggestion for you, to try that, you know, and put yourself in it. But I don't want you to go back to these people. You know, one thing that, you know, you were friends with what we used to call the mean girls. In the 90s, it was called mean girls. I don't know what they call it now. Frenemies. But don't do that. That would just be putting yourself back in a mentally and emotionally damaging situation. Why would you want to do that? They weren't your friends. So you talking about I want to go back to my friends? They were never your friends. Never. They just had you around for somebody to pick on and bully. Okay? You need to be around people who are positive and like-minded. And is there anything you could volunteer to do? I mean, you're looking for a full-time job, but what about volunteer work? You know? It'll get you out the house, it'll get you around people. It helps you socialize. So look into that too. They have all kinds of, you know, organizations and places like for seniors and stuff, you know, where they need people to volunteer. Make sure you got your shot if that's what you into, and wear your mask up like you're supposed to and all that kind of stuff. Take your precautions. But do something and get yourself out the house. Oh, well, thank you, AMT. You know, this is sad because you're too young for this. To be thinking about hanging out with them fools. Ooh, girl, no, never. Question number 7. This is a female in the 21 to 26 age group from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Hi, Miss Cooper. Thank you for taking my question. I'm a 25-year-old woman in somewhat of a crisis. I came across your channel when I was searching for relationship advice and saw your Sunday sermon about choosing the wrong man, which I think is exactly what I have done, so I desperately need your advice. I've been in a relationship with my fiance a little over 2 years. Believe it or not, I am a virgin and have never been intimate with him because I did not want to have eggplant before marriage. My fiance assured me he was fine with my decision as he was practicing celibacy himself after his last relationship. The problem came a couple of weeks ago when we were at my future in-laws' house celebrating my fiance's birthday. I overheard a conversation he was having with his friends in the backyard. I was upstairs laying down on one of the bedrooms, but the window was open. What I heard out of his mouth was horrific. He was saying some cruel and misogynistic things about women in general, and talking about all the multiple women he had slept with. He was bragging that he had done more than 80 women. And about all the orgies and threesomes he had participated in. Wow! This guy is trash. You all know what he sounds like. He sounds like one of them, You know, these dudes will be talking about how men don't want anybody who's run through and all this kind of stuff, and then yet they are. But they want someone who's pristine, but they are like the community D of the whole East Coast. And that's how they are. But they have this double standard. They come on the channel, but you know, we've been deleting them comments right and left. They was under that new video about the men who have no value and no purpose. And they was mad as hell. There's all kind of comments that you guys never saw because they got deleted and they got blocked from the channel. But they're like this kind of mentality. Wow, girl. Okay, let me finish this. This is really sad. Some of the stuff he was describing that he had done to these women was downright scary. He had such a tone of disgust for these women in his voice, but he chose to sleep with them. So doesn't that make him just as bad? Absolutely. Good job. I was not aware he had such an extensive sexual history. I cannot see myself making vows to such a man because I cannot stomach his hypocrisy. All I keep thinking about now is how he would reject me if the situation were reversed. He wants to marry a virgin, but he is a walking hoe. I have not seen him since the party, preferring to avoid him and lying about having COVID as an excuse to put some distance between us because he had no idea. I heard what he said. Oh, that was a good one. Look at you. This is like she's doing a good job. Looking into the future as you have advised women to do before making major relationship decisions, I see myself in a miserable marriage with a man who secretly hates women and will never be faithful to me. I can never unhear those cruel and nasty insults, and I'm under no illusion that he somehow sees me differently. Our wedding is scheduled for May 21st next year, so I need to end this now to undo all the wedding preparations and save my sanity. I have yet to tell anyone what has happened as I'm just too sad and numb. What do you think, Miss Cooper? Should I confront him and give him a chance to explain his words or just give the ring back and run away? I trust you to lead me down the right path. Thank you so much. I do not want you to be around where this guy is. You aren't going to go to his house where you're there by yourself. You're not going to let him come to yours. The reason why is this kind of behavior and the tones that you picked up on, the words and the body language and the messages he was communicating, the horrific things that he has done to women, and he's sitting there gloating about it at his parents' house, just like it's not a problem. That is a man who I'm concerned. I'm not saying he is. I said I'm concerned his kind of behavior and his attitude is one where he would feel very, very angry that you rejected him, because his dream of having someone pure, chaste, and untouched by other men would be yanked away from him. Sometimes these kind of guys get the idea like, if I can't have you, nobody will. So my I don't know where you live, but hopefully you can go stay with your parents or somebody, or go out of town and stay somewhere so he don't know where you are until this dies down. Because I don't know, it's just this tone of disgust and the things he was saying that scared you. I'm tuning into that, and that's what's making me very cautious. Now, I'm not saying he's definitely going to do any of this, so don't misunderstand me. I'm saying let's err on the side of caution, because when you give him his ring back, all the dreams that he had of having this pure, chaste wife that's different from all these other women is going to go up in smoke. And I'm concerned that he's going to start in on you. Oh, you just want to do this and that with other dudes. You ain't trying, you see what I mean? So it's the kind of thing you need to be in a place that's safe. Now, as far as the ring goes, I don't know. How would you get it back to him? That's a good question. Mail? Messenger service? UPS. And include a letter with it that tells, and don't mention all of this stuff. I don't want you to tell anybody this. Just tell him that you have decided that you're not ready to get married. It's just too much of a commitment and you're not ready yet. And you're probably not going to be ready. You want to do some other things first, travel or something. I don't know, make up some shit. But whatever it is, don't tell anyone this yet, because word will get out. You want to wait a few months until the heat from him dealing with the rejection dies down. Then you can start telling people. They don't need to know all these details. They just need to know that you decided he wasn't the man for you. Okay? That because other people knowing this and sending, and saying stuff to him about it, it could infuriate him more. You see what I'm saying? This is all part of the err on the side of caution thing. You don't have to give details. You just say, it's not a match. It's not going to work. I know it's not going to work. I don't want to do it. I changed my mind. He's not the man for me. Vague stuff like that. That makes it lets people know your decision, but it does not tell them any details. That's my recommendation. Thank you, Alexis. That would be the way I would handle it if I were you. And yeah, you can just send him his ring back with the letter, like I said. Have the UPS man deliver it, FedEx, somebody like that. Question number 8. Wow, this is real. He's sick in the head. I'm glad you found out. See how the universe works? It was saving you, girl. You have a guardian angel, your ancestors. Somebody serious is looking out for you. So whoever they are, you should make sure you thank them. Question number 8, female, 226 from Liverpool, England. I'm not trying to sound like a pick-me, but I feel like everyone in my life's got a bone to pick with me lately. Because of COVID, I live at home now. I'm 23. I was living alone for 3+ years before that. My dad constantly will make a face at me and puff his lips out of mock how I walk to show me that my lips are too big. Wow. I walk weird because he says I'm fat. All qualities which I got from him, so I don't know what's so funny. I just ignore it, but I feel like I need a new approach. My friend group crumbled. It felt like I was always the butt of some joke. They always told me they had a lot of work to do, but hung out without me and would comment about my appearance or just stare and snicker when we met up. So I stopped talking to them. My brother always tells everyone what to do, and he's just annoying in general. But my sister started acting like I'm a nuisance to her. She would eye me up and down like I look weird or something. Before I took the approach of ignoring the stuff, I noted everyone what they were doing. I took the approach of ignoring this stuff. I asked everyone what they were doing that for. Maybe I was dumb and I never found out. But I don't think I look weird, but I am the common denominator. I always have family and friends acting like I did something wrong or something's bugging them. How do I change my approach? I really feel lame for being unable to form new friendships or connections. Please help. Well, it's going to be hard to form new connections and stuff when they have you feeling like you're this unworthy barnacle on life or something. I mean, your mental and emotional state is kind of shaky, so that would make it hard for you to feel confident, which is what you would need to form new adult friendships at your age. You say you're living at home because of COVID. What, you lose your job or something? I'm not understanding why you had to move back home. That you lost me there. But, your dad making faces at you and puffing his, mocking you and stuff like that, all you have to do is say, but I look just like you, so what, you mocking yourself? Remind him, I'm your spitting image of you. So every time you say something about my appearance, you're really talking about yourself. I have your lips, I have your walk, I have your your skin tone, your nose. So every time you fix your face to say something negative about me, you are really talking about yourself. And turn that shit back on him. Who does he think he is? As far as your sister, okay, your brother wants to tell everybody what to do. Well, brothers always do that. There's not too much escape from that. My brother still try to tell me what to do. I'm like, dude, for real? At the age we are, you still think I need your guidance and supervision. Brothers are weird. Okay, but then your sister started acting like you're a nuisance to her. Do it back. That fight fire with fire thing. She looking at you like this and you look at her like this and like, ugh. You got the most fucked up attitude of anybody on this planet. I don't know why you twisting your lip looking at me like all crazy. You ought to be looking at yourself, trying to figure out why you even breathing, which you hate everybody so much. Just go jump off a cliff or something. End it all, because you was just stupid. I don't know. I don't have too much patience for these kind of people because, when they get started with that kind of stuff, it just starts my mouth up. And then my mouth is just so awful and all kind of bad things come out. So, this kind of stuff here, I would have lit everybody in the house up by now. I don't know why you, just sit there and take it. Start firing back. You don't have to be treated like this. You don't have to let them treat you like this and you just don't say anything. That's, that contributes to them. I'm not saying that's why, but they start feeling emboldened, like, they're getting away with something because you don't fire back. You have whatever weaknesses they have, whatever things that you know about them, which you do know stuff because you're family. Start lighting them up. Bring it out and lob it at them like a grenade. Every time they get into talking crazy about you or doing something, you bring up one of them things that you know is going to hurt their feelings. And then you light them up with it. Because two can play this game. And don't hold back. You have to let them know that you're not the one to be played with like that. And you light them up a couple of times, they'll stop because they won't like how it feels. It's great when they're doing it to you because you don't say nothing and they get to go away giggling like it's funny. You start turning that mirror back on them and firing them up, they'll quit. Yeah, I just I don't know. That's why I don't know. Nobody in my family messes with me because my mouth. They get to talking some crazy stuff. I say, oh, well, wait a minute. What about you? And then I just go and talk for 5 minutes and read them and talk about all the stuff that's wrong with them. All the crazy stuff they've done in the past. The stupid decisions, the crazy men they mess with, the useless and trifling and all of that. I just bring it all up and just lob it all out there. And then just sit there and look at them. And they be sitting there just stuffing back tears. It's like, well, you shouldn't have messed with me. And my cousin who stole my clothes that time, she took an outfit I had out of my house. You know what I did? I went to where she was staying. I took all her clothes. All of them. I bagged up everything. Every bra, every penny, every sock, every pair of shoes. I stripped her entire fucking room. So you know what? All she had to wear was my outfit that she stole. And that's how much of a savage I am. It's like, bitch, no, you're not going to do this. You're not going to do this to me. I took all her shit. So she had to wear that outfit, had to go to Walmart and buy some new underpants because she didn't have nothing. She had nothing. But that's like you took my $50 outfit. I'm taking all of your shit to make up for it. All her jewelry. I took everything. Everything that she had in that room went in the trunk of my car. And I didn't give it back either. She wanted to give me back my outfit. I said, oh no, it's used now. I don't want it. I didn't even put it to Goodwill. You know what I did? There's like these churches around. In Oakland, they got churches everywhere. I put one bag in the front of each church and let the homeless people have her stuff. But see, that's what you get. Don't come to my house stealing from me. Do not do that. And that shit spread through the family like wildfire. And do you know, people still don't mess with me. They don't even want to come to my house because they don't want to feel like it, they might accidentally leave with something. I was like, That's what I did. Alpha. I don't know who she thought she was messing with. That's the thing about, because it's like I'm the quiet cousin. I don't really, I'm not like that kind. I don't really say too much. I move in silence. So I just, made a couple of calls and found out where she was staying, right? Everybody's like, oh, where she's staying at. And she was over here the other day and, she left something here. I want to make sure I give it to her. That's a lie I told. And so I got the address. I went over there. I said, oh, I'm here. I'm so-and-so's cousin. And so they let me in. I came in there with my trusty hefty bags and I started loading her shit up. They were like, what you doing? I said, don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it. And I took all her stuff with me when I left. We sure did. So anyway, that's what I mean. Don't worry about the fact that you related to him. That's just an accident. You have nothing to do with that. But you do not let people talk to you like that and treat you like that. You light them up. That's right, Sunday. Yeah. I don't do nothing to people. I just do not bother people. But likewise, I don't want you messing with me. Don't mess with me. Don't mess with my stuff. Just leave me the hell alone. And then we'll be fine. So let's move on to question number 9. This is a female in the 21 to 25 age group out of Fullerton, California. I met a guy who was kind and cute, but a little dumb. That's what she wrote. Is there a chance we can be compatible long term, or am I being naive? I'm telling myself that the most important thing about a guy is how he treats me and his character. But what if he is a little dumb? Okay, you keep saying a little bit. That I'm kind of scared now. It might be a lot. He seems a little spacey sometimes, and he is a simple guy. He is an artist, doesn't have big dreams or passions, just wants to work odd jobs in between gigs, and is an overall simple guy. Oh, gigs, so he's a musician or something, singer? I don't want an extravagant life. I just want to be able to afford rent. But I, for some reason, feel hesitation. What do you ladies think? I am 22 without much dating or relationship experience. I'm writing to you, Deb. Am I being unrealistic or too harsh? No, girl. I mean, if you feel like the guy is, he might be slow. Sometimes people have talents in one area. Like he might be, you say gigs, so I'm going to assume it's something to do with music. So he might be really good with that, really good musician, very creative, a great singer or something. So he can write music. He taught himself how to play whatever, and he's really good at whatever's his story. He's got talents and abilities in that, but that doesn't mean he has a lot going on upstairs. And so if you are the kind of woman, which most of us are, need some kind of mental stimulation from the man in her life, don't sound like you're going to get it from this little duck here. Okay. I mean, he's nice, but he's probably the kind of guy who should move over to the friend zone, because he's not the one for you to give your heart to, because you can't respect him. These doubts that you have about his slowness, dumbness, that's going to magnify. The more you spend with somebody, the more these things become an issue, not less. So you're looking at, he's already dumb, and you just got to know him. As you spend more time with him, he's going to become just a fool, and you're going to be really mad, and then you're going to want to break up with him. Well, you should break up with him now. Don't get involved with him romantically. Just push him on over there to the friend zone and date someone else. That's what you do. Question number 10. Female, 30-36, out of Santa Barbara. Hi, Deb. I'm wondering what to do about a friendship. Recently, I went on a girls' trip with a friend, and we went out to a sidewalk cafe to enjoy drinks. When mine arrived, it tasted absolutely horrible. It was super strong, like pure liquor. Ooh, that's my kind of drink. I would have traded with you. I took one sip and put it down, and when the waiter came, I very apologetically asked for another drink. He said that would be fine and asked what I would like. He took the drink away and brought the new one. And as he put it down, he informed me that he would have to charge me for both. I was a bit shocked because he never mentioned this, and I have worked in restaurants and know it is standard for them to replace a drink free of charge if it was not drunk. I then asked for my old drink back, and he argued with me, telling me I shouldn't be drinking liquor because it was too hot out anyway, among other strange comments. What? I told him I don't care what it has. If I paid for it, I want it. Finally, he brought it back, and I barely drank it, and he kept coming over to make borderline rude comments like, "You're probably the kind of girl that should stick with vodka." This is a waiter? Oh, yeah, Santa Barbara, though? I have my own story about a restaurant there. I was really shocked and baffled that someone would be so rude. I smiled to his face, but when the check came, I promptly grabbed it before my friend could and left him no tip. To me, that was the safest way to handle things, because I don't like confronting men in person because so many of them are crazy, and this guy seemed off. When we left, I told my friend I didn't leave a tip, and she went off on me, telling me it was so rude of me and that it was an awful thing to do. I couldn't believe she would say that after this man was so nasty to me. I felt at the minimum that she should have supported me in this, and ideally even said something to the waiter, because since it was only me arguing with him, afterwards I got upset with her and it ruined our trip. She later told me that she hadn't been paying attention anyway. I think she sometimes has mental issues and is in her own world and is very self-centered. She has gone off on waiters for silly reasons before, but when it comes to me, she thought I should tolerate this crazy behavior. I felt very degraded and upset that my friend of so many years treated me this way. Am I right to feel betrayed, or is this too small of a thing to end a friendship over? I felt degraded by the waiter and then by my friend. Okay, I hate to say this to you, girl, but you in the 30 to 36 age group, you didn't handle this right at all. You didn't handle this right. You know, they have maitre d's, they have like floor managers, they have, you know, senior managers, they have all kind of people. You don't deal with the dusty ass waiter. You say, bring me the manager. You have to pull the Karen move. And you bring the manager over and you say, taste this drink, please. The manager would pick up the drink and taste it and say, now, I wanted a mixed drink. I did not want pure alcohol. I mean, that's great. If I were an alcoholic, I would probably be happy. But that's not what I ordered. That's not what that's not what I wanted. And that's not what I'm going to pay for. This young man here tells me that not only do I have to pay for a drink that is undrinkable, but I also have to pay for the one that he brought me to replace it. And I want to know what your policy is here for such situations. That's why I wanted you to taste the drink. Okay, that's how you handle your shit like a grown-ass woman. You don't be sitting up there looking for people to buy in and co-sign and all this old stuff here. And this passive aggressiveness that you did with not leaving a tip where you didn't say anything. Okay? You didn't handle yourself right. This is not how you do out in the real world. Okay? This is your money that we're talking about. You don't let somebody rip you off like that. And you don't have to yell and rant and rave and cuss and act a fool. You just bring the manager over, explain the situation, and have him taste the drink. Like you taste it and tell me what you think. That's how you do stuff like that, okay, just for the future. Now, as far as, you know, the friend saying she wasn't really paying attention anyway and, you know, going off on me, telling you was rude and awful and all this kind of stuff, you know, for me, the trip would have been over in that minute. Because all this stuff she's saying, all this stuff, kind of judgmental shit, I would have been like, bitch, if you think the shit is so fucking wonderful, then you go back and leave his ass a tip. How about you do that? And stay the fuck out of my pocket and out of my face. You don't tell me what to fucking do with my money. That's what she would have got from me. Friend or no friend, you're not going to talk to me crazy. In public, private, or any other way. On the phone, by text, nothing. You're not going to do that. Because then now you have crossed one of my boundaries. And then you putting our friendship on the line about a waiter you don't even know who mistreated your friend. You see what I mean here? You need an adjustment in your mentality about how you conduct yourself when you're going to be around other people. How you did this was all kinds of backwards. Okay? But I'm going to suggest, now that you see that this quote friend does not have your back, and that this quote friend blames you for mistreatment that other people do to you, cut ties with this quote friend. There's nothing here for you. There's nothing here for you. Now, had you been with me, like I can tell you how this would have went down with me, I would have probably switched drinks with you. Because I'd be like, girl, just give me a glass of juice or something. And I would have poured that thing and that would have had me a twofer. 2 drinks for the price of 1, and then got you another one, whatever you wanted. And I would have took that one, and that's how we would have worked that out. And that would have been fine. And I would have left lit and just grinning because I got 2 drinks for the price of 1. See, I like to turn lemons into lemonade or strong drinks into 2 drinks. But, this was you just didn't handle this well, okay? So think about this next time when you're in a similar situation. Channel your inner Deb and think, how can I resolve this situation so that it's a win-win for everyone? Okay? Because you could have saved the waiters, all them comments that he was making. You save yourself from being subjected to that. Got your drinks and probably your lunch for free, too. I mean, all kind of benefits could have come out of this had you handled this differently. Well, that's not a Cali thing, Keith. That was just this waiter thing. Because I live in California. Born and raised here. That's not a Cali thing. That was this particular restaurant and this particular waiter thing. So, but that's why I said you just call the manager over and it would have been rectified without a problem. Question number 11, female, 26 to 29 from North York, Canada. Is it possible to, quote, train your partner to pick up their share of the load, including mental load, in the home you share together? I need advice because I'm getting very frustrated with how my partner takes me and my work and time for granted. We are not that young. I'm 28 and he's 32. Lately, I have been getting so frustrated that I've just been leaving specific tasks unfinished or incomplete. For example, I will empty exactly half of the dishwasher, and the dishwasher will literally be half emptied or unemptied by myself now. I hate that I had to take this route because it seems so passive aggressive. My partner has made comments to me along the lines of, why not just complete the task? But of course, as we all know, if I capitulate and complete the task, then that just means that I'm the one doing 100% of that task. And then, of course, comes the ingrained expectations that I will complete the task in the future. And from then on, he can get away with this continued lazy behavior. Since moving in with my boyfriend, I've had to lower my expectations of cleanliness and organization in the home. This unfortunately means that we live in a pigsty. I absolutely detest it, but I've had to do this in order to feel like I'm not being taken advantage of or taken for granted by my partner. I have explicitly mentioned to him that I will accept nothing less than he do half of the work at home, otherwise this relationship is never going to work out. He is getting better, but he's still not there yet. This has unfortunately led to things literally almost never getting done or specific tasks being done half-assed. For example, my partner would do a load of laundry for rags or dish towels once in a blue moon, but he'll, quote, forget to move them from the washing machine to the dryer. I have literally come across this and my action is just to leave it, even when the smell starts. It's bad. What are some ways of training your partners into more productive and positive household behaviors that have worked for you, Deb? I moved the fuck out. That's what I did. You're not married to this man. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? He is a pig. You finding this out now. Luckily, before you married him, pack your stuff and get out. And then whatever stink dishes, dirty dishes and pigsty he wants to live in, that's fine. Let him do that. And I would recommend breaking up too. This is not the man for you. He's driving you crazy. There's no future in this where your nerves are getting worked every single day looking at the slop that this man is. Okay, he's not the dude for you. Cut it off. Leave. Don't go back. Break up. That's the answer to this question. I mean, what in the world are you going through all these changes for? You want to try to change him. You don't change grown men. The only thing you can change is if it's a diaper on it. Okay, then you can change that. Put on a fresh pamper. That's about it. Fresh Huggy. Whatever other brands these are. We used to like Huggies. But, you know, there's nothing here for you, girl. You're 28 years old. Get away from this fool. Just pack your stuff. Just go. Question 12, female, 21 to 29 from San Antonio. This is a personal training question for you, Deb. What was the workout schedule that you finally found worked to help your former clients lose weight and gain muscle? Women that are busy and have office jobs. I'm 22 and I've gained about 10 pounds of weight over the past 3 to 4 years from college, COVID, being shut in, and now working a sit-down office job. What workout plan did you find helped female clients get fit and maintain it? I'm getting married in December, so this is very important. Wait, December, October, November, December. Ooh. I have seen 2-pound weight loss from lifting. My body fat is around 25% now, but I like it closer to 22%. Both are within a healthy range. I just know that I'm not moving enough other than my morning lifting session. I don't get near enough movement in the day. I maybe get 1,000 steps where 10,000 is recommended. So for reference, I took the last month off for personal reasons. I usually lift 45 to 60 minutes 4 days a week with a squat day, bench day, deadlift day, and shoulder press day. I do progressive overload where I have 3 main weights that get progressively higher than volume, which is 5 sets at lower weight. Progressive overload, I know what progressive load is. Okay, I do 3 to 5 bucks. You do too much. I also do progressive overload week to week, where week 1 through week 3, the weights get closer and closer to my max, and week 4 is my Delos week. This works for helping me build muscle, but I'm not losing body fat, and I just need ideas for a busy life, how to maintain this schedule and add in cardio as well as mobility training because my back and hamstrings are super tight. Okay, first of all, who told you to work out like a man? That's what you're doing. You're working out like a dude. All these pyramids and all this overload and my rep max and all this old stuff. Who told you that that's how you should work out? Women's bodies are completely different. If you're not going into powerlifting or you doing, trying to develop specific muscles for a show, this is not how you work out. What works best for women is 3 times a week, not 4. And you're going to do full body routines with a moderate weight that you can do 8 to 10 reps with. That works. That works hands down. That works. I've used that kind of system with thousands of women over the 15 years that I was a personal trainer, because I did all the new member orientations and design programs for them. They got a free, starter program. So, you figure I'm doing like 30, 40 of those a month, plus my clients, plus the group trainings I had, plus my private clients. Over 15 years, that's thousands of people. So I have never not seen that work for women's bodies. Our bodies, our musculature, our hormones, everything is different. You cannot work out like a man and think you're going to get the results that you need. Stop doing all this weight. Okay, this is ridiculous. If you do circuit training stuff, you train women, you do compound movements, and you do them in supersets. So you do one exercise, 10, 12 reps of whatever, and then you do the next one back to back without stopping. You rest 30 seconds. You do it again. Do it again. You can do triceps where you have 3 exercises. But whatever you do, you're going to work every single muscle in your body 3 times a week with at least 1 day of rest in between. Okay? That's how you do this. You do it fast enough, it'll be like a cardio workout and you'll burn a lot of extra fat. And what you want to do during those other days when you're not working out with the weights, you're going to walk and you're going to stretch. And that's it. That's what you're going to do. You need to stretch after every workout. Do not stretch before. You want to stretch when your muscles are warm. Otherwise, you risk damage and injury. So when, do a lightweight warm up, like jog in place or, light little running, and whatever you're going to do, walk on a treadmill, just whatever, ride the stationary bike, about 8 to 10 minutes to warm up your body. Then you do your weights and then you do a little cool down and then you stretch. And that's what you're going to do. All right. Question number 13. She not want to become a bodybuilder. She says she's getting married. She's trying to get in shape for her wedding. She didn't say anything about a bodybuilder. So she asked about a specific goal, which is a wedding in December. So my advice is responding to that request for information. Okay? I don't go into what people might want to do that's not in the letter. We don't do that here. Okay? Because we don't start getting my Miss Cleo psychic superpowers and putting stuff in the letter that the person didn't say. I don't operate that way. Question number 13, female, 40 to 45, from Manchester, England. I'm 40 and I have 3 kids, a daughter 15 and fraternal twins, a boy and a girl, age 10. My eldest doesn't lift a finger to help around the house. She will clean her room about once a week. She leaves a trail of mess wherever she has been. After washing her hair, the bathroom is covered in conditioner. Bottles are everywhere. Conditioner on the wall, mirror, etc. Mugs and plates are left wherever she has been. She doesn't even take her plate away from the table after tea. I am fed up with it. I'm fed up of feeling like a maid with no thanks. I have tried and tried to get her to help and pull her weight, and she won't. On top of that, she is so rude, no manners, doesn't make an effort to be friendly if she is that way out, which is most of the time. She looks at me like I'm shit. Yesterday she was having a bad day and texted me about it. I wanted to do something nice for her, so I made her brownies, which are her favorite. Made the mixture, went to get baking paper, and all gone. Same with the tinfoil. She used it all for something and never said anything. I had to go to the shop with the 10-year-old son who was off school. Anyway, she came back from school and sat in the garden with her boyfriend. I asked them both if they would like a brownie, and I had made them for her to cheer her up. She bit into it and pulled a disgusted face and said they weren't cooked and horrible. Boyfriend didn't try because of that. May I add, I make these a lot and she loves them. They were definitely cooked absolutely fine. Okay, so then she goes on and on. What do I do to make her nice? Nothing. Her bedroom carpet is ruined. She has straightener burns all over. She hates her room. She breaks everything she touches. Wow. I love her with all my heart, but I just don't think she's a nice person. She bullies the younger two as well, which I'm constantly talking to her about. I sometimes wonder if there's something wrong with her. She'll say something is on TV that's really sad, someone with a disability, etc., but she'll find it funny. It's not that she feels and sad, so she tries to mask it by laughing. She genuinely thinks it's hilarious. She will share pictures with her friends of people with disabilities. Okay, your daughter is weird. I am fed up with it all. Do you have any advice? Wait, where are you again? This letter was so freaking long. Oh, you're in England. Okay, Manchester, England. I remember I had to kind of do some research for another question that came in some time ago. And what I recall is that in England, you can kick your child out legally at 16. You know, you can kick them out. Now, what you do is you can call child services. This is what I would do. I'm telling you what I would do, because my thing right now would be to protect the two younger children that she is bullying and attacking. That is unacceptable. It doesn't matter what you want to take for yourself. You're putting two little kids at her mercy, and that's only what you see. Okay? That's what she lets you see. You don't know what she's really doing to them two kids. You know, and the way that she's acting, I would be highly suspicious that she's doing a lot more than what you see. So I would call the people, whatever child, I don't know what they call it in the UK, but over here it's Child Protective Services, Social Services, you know, this kind of thing. And I would say, I want you to come and get her because she is mentally and physically abusing her younger siblings, and she cannot be in this house anymore. She's hurting defenseless children. I want her gone. And they will come and get her. Now, I think as I recall, between 16 and 18, they put them in like a group home or something. I mean, it's not like they, turn them out on the street. They're in some kind of like they're in an environment where they're supervising, there's legal guardians there and all this kind of stuff. But they're not in the house with you. They're not over them little kids. And then once they turn 18, it's over. It's a wrap. She got to get out and start hustling it and get a job and all that kind of stuff. That's what I would do to her little ass, because see, you want to act like, you so ungrateful and, you can't stand nobody. And these are the people that's feeding you and put a roof over your head and putting clothes on your back and stuff. Let that dinky ass boyfriend that you got provide you with a place to live, because you got to get the fuck up out of my house. That's what I would tell her. And I wouldn't care what anybody else said, including her father. It's like, well, then you move on and go let her live with you. Y'all can go suffer over there together. I don't care what you're going to do, but she's not going to be here. And that's what I would tell her. Now, you don't sound like the type that would be, would be able to do that, because, she had a bad day in spite of all the other stuff that she's done. Your ass going to go through all these changes and make her some damn brownies. I would have made her ass shit. She get some dog food tacos, just like we talked about the other day. A cat food quiche. That's about all she would get out of me. You're not getting anything from me. You're an ungrateful little wretch. So no. And pack up all her stuff and then make her room into a gym or something. Yep. No, she can leave there and you leave your house and be the grown up that she wants to act like she is, since she want to run everything. You go do that at your own house. That's what she would do. That's what would happen. And I'm telling you, because I know me. I kicked my daughter out when she was 18. I told her, get out. I don't have anywhere to go. You're going to go wherever it was you've been for the last few days. Go there. So she knew I was serious too. She got her stuff. She was all crying, hands all shaking and stuff. I sat there stony face. I did not give a damn. I didn't care. People, her friends came and her mother came and they was getting her stuff and acting all righteous and everything. I sat there with the remote in my hand, my legs crossed, click up, watching my Korean dramas and unbothered. And they stood her ass for about 3 months. And then they were like, come get your daughter. I'm like, oh no, I'm not. I'm just telling you. I just, my nerves are very precious to me. I refuse to be, I can't. You got somebody feeding you and stuff like that. You need to be, I'm not saying you got to kiss my butt, but one thing you're not going to do is disrespect me. Not in my house. You got to go somewhere else to do that. Okay? So you get out. Then you go do that over there. Question 14. This is a female in the 30 to 35 age group from, it says, upstate New York. I'm 30. My boyfriend is turning 32 next month. We've been together a little over 2 years, living together for 1. We met when I was in the process of leaving my job to start law school. I got a puppy. Okay. I gave him the following warnings before we started. Number 1, I was about to start law school and I'd be busy. Number 2, I have a puppy that needs virtually all my attention outside of school. Number 3, I really wasn't looking to just fart around and get into a situationship because I'm at a point in my life where I'm looking for the man I'm going to marry and have a family with. With all of that, we started seeing each other non-exclusively, and then we went to exclusive. We agreed that we could make it through law school for 3 years. We would get married, but no time before that. I've been busy with school and jobs clerking at law firms. He hasn't had a regular job since I've known him. He works for a company his friends started from home. When we first met, he was very productive and working very hard on it. But then COVID hit and things slowed down. He stopped working as hard. He's been all over the place as to what he wants to do for a career. I never asked about money because he always pays his half. I kind of figured we're not married, so I didn't care where his money come from. Come to find out, his dad foots his bills, and he's constantly spending money. He recently got his real estate license and was signed with a luxury real estate office, but he almost never goes in. He doesn't attend the trainings, and he hasn't been a part of any transactions. He wants to become a full-time crypto trader. At 32. A few months ago, we attended my old roommate's wedding, and on the way home, he told me he wasn't getting enough out of the relationship. He thinks it's because he feels bad. His dad pays his rent, and he was considering going to live with his dad. He tried to bring this up with me that maybe we should go live with one of his parents who are divorced and live separately in order to save money, but I refused. He told me he was going to propose. He was going to propose to me during our trip to Greece, but probably not anymore, and that he didn't have any money to buy a ring. We took a trip to Greece a few months later anyway, and he did not propose. He is constantly making a point to tell me that living abroad, at least part-time, is a priority for him. I say, okay, but you need to have money first. I'm graduating from law school in December and planning to take the bar in February of next year. He, although he has no money of his own right now, made an appointment to get a half sleeve in January, so I am concerned. Half sleeve, okay, those of you who are into tattoos, how much does a half sleeve cost? Does anybody know? Anybody got a range of a half sleeve? That's like a full sleeve is all the way, right? But half is like this part, I'm guessing, because I've seen people that do that. Okay, anybody know that, just put that in there because I'm very curious. I love this man to death, and this is by far the best relationship I've ever been in, the happiest I've ever been. But I'm about to start my career, and I'm at a point where in life I want to get married and start a family. I do not mind being abroad part of the time, but my career will not enable me to do that, at least not right away. I'm upset that I'm not getting proposed to and don't feel like he will propose to me. I feel, on the other hand, that maybe we want different things out of life. I also want to make sure he has some kind of stable income before we get married and start a family. I don't mind being the breadwinner, but we definitely need 2 incomes. I would feel guilty if we got married and started a family while his dad was footing his bills. I also hate feeling dependent on others financially. We have discussed this in bits and pieces, but he never really provides straight answers. I'm not really sure what to do or how to move forward, but I feel kind of stuck. My plan is to not really deal with this until I'm done with the bar, but I was just hoping I could get some guidance. Yes, kick him out or move out or whatever you're going to do. You get away from this fool. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're going to pass the bar and you're going to get some high-paying job as an attorney, and he's never going to work again. You're going to be supporting him for the rest of your life. And you sitting up there worrying about being proposed to. Why would you want to be proposed to by a loser bum like this? What's wrong with you? Don't you have any standards? This is what you want for a husband? Somebody who won't work and is just drifting through life and at 32 and living off of his father? And you want a proposal from somebody like that? You need to slap the hell out of yourself and wake up from this fugue state that you're in. You're delirious. This is not any kind of man that would qualify to be anybody's husband or father. He's a child himself. You're using very poor judgment right now. Although you go into law school, that means you have some kind of intellect, but you don't have much common sense. I hate to have to break it to you, but it's true. You're not even looking at this. You have all the facts. You set out every single fact that you need. If this were a case that you were studying, right? This was a case you were studying for your law school. What would you tell this person? That's what you need to tell yourself. Question number 15, male, 45 to 50, from Hermosa Beach, California. My daughter's 24 and has been on and off drugs for the past 5 years. Wow. She was a straight A student for high school and graduated with excellent grades. But in college, she met some bad people who at first only sold her weed, but eventually got her hooked on hard stuff. She dropped out, and we have been trying to help her to the best of our ability. The public health care system proved very ineffective and slow, so we focused on getting her private treatment and making sure she actually goes. In the beginning, she did, but then she started to miss sessions and disappear for days. As this wasn't working, we stopped paying for the sessions. Our most recent endeavor was getting her back home. We take her back in for half a year, during which time we pay for her upkeep, and she do some work to keep her from drugs. She'd have no phone to contact her junkie friends and would only be allowed to talk to people in town. This was harsh, but we felt it was the only way to secure her getting better. Yesterday, I got back from work and found her car parked at a different spot from where it was in the morning. She hadn't told us she was planning to go anywhere, and we had no need for groceries. I got suspicious and went in the back door. Lo and behold, there she was, naked on our couch, being by some dude who later turned out to be a dealer. So she had no money, so she was trading her body for drugs. I already know this story. Okay, I tore him off her and threw him out the same door I came in. I asked my daughter what the hell she was doing. She started sobbing, said she was sorry, but I was still pissed. I put them both in the backseat of my car with their immediate belongings, including the smartphone she'd hidden from us, and drove them to the nearest city, the one where she had been going to college. It was revealed that since she had no money to pay him, he took intimacies as a secondary payment method. I dropped him off and handed him some money and told him I'd shoot him if I ever saw him again. My daughter I took to the apartment we kept for her once she got back on her feet and planned to sublet for the time being. I told her that rent was paid for till the end of October, at which she was on her own, no more coming to us for help. I told my wife what had happened when I got back from the little trip. She was astonished and started crying. She couldn't believe I had done this to our daughter. I saw her point of view, but I couldn't disagree more. We've given her numerous chances and devoted a large chunk of both of our lives to helping her for years. When we agreed to this last contract, I specifically told her that this would be the end of it. But apparently I wasn't clear enough. Besides, maybe a harsher approach could finally do some good, because maybe she'll get arrested and finally realize what she's doing. I got regretful last night, but I feel like there was no other choice. Either way, I want some advice on what I should do. My wife hasn't spoken to me ever since our argument, and I feel like she's just silently accepting the situation and resenting me. I don't want to lose my daughter, but I feel like she's betrayed us time after time and can't be helped. Sometimes I think it would be good for all of us if she just died peacefully due to an OD, but I shiver when I get thoughts like that. Oh, dude. See, my thing is, when I see people who are addicts like this, that's what I think. They're trying to commit suicide, but they're doing it this slow, torturous way instead of just doing it outright. That's my own personal belief. Don't anybody think that this is a scientific fact, but I just noticed they all seem to be hopeless. They have no purpose. All they do is start living to, the next high. They have no ambition, no drive, nothing going on positive. It's just a trip. So to me, that's like that kind of state of non-existence is the same as someone right before they check out. That's, they've given up on themselves. And it's the same mentality. This is me speaking. Like I said, I didn't read this anywhere. This is not written in any scientific journal. This is merely observation over the years, the similarities between the two types. So I, sir, am fully in your corner. I totally am behind you. At some point, you have to activate BOP, which is tough love. And, this is a choice that she's making. She's an adult. You guys have given her all this help, so she had the choice to take the help and improve her life, or the choice to go back and do stupid stuff. She opted. She chose. She prefers to do the stupid stuff. I tell you, I had a friend, right, and I went to her house, and she had been, messing around and just being stupid, and her husband was at his last straw. And so he's like, can you come over? Can you talk to her? Now, normally I don't get involved in that kind of stuff because I feel like, you want to be a fool, be one. I mean, what's that got to do with me? But, he was begging me, and they had 2 little kids and stuff. So I guess I felt somewhat guilty, so I went over there. I asked her 2 things before I got up and left. I said, are you aware of what you're doing and how it's hurting the people that you claim to love? And she said, yes. I said, okay. So is this something that you want to do or do you want to stop? She said, well, this is what I want to do right now. I said, okay. And I got up and I walked the fuck out. And her husband was like, you haven't even been here for 5 minutes. I said, but I already got the answers that I need. She's doing what she wants to do, and she's fine with that. And so there's nothing I can do. I would suggest you see an attorney, get custody of your kids, and keep them moving. And that was it. That's all I said to do. Then I left. I don't know where she is now. I don't know what happened. He sent me a couple of Christmas card pictures and stuff a couple of times, and I lost track of them too. Probably could find them on Facebook or something. But, that's how Deb does stuff. Deb's not going to be in no codependent situation with you. I'm going to just ask you what you want to do. You grown. Make your choice and leave me the fuck up out of it. Okay? And so that's what I would say to you, sir. You need to tell your wife or let her hear my story because your daughter's choosing to do this. Okay, you guys run around with your super capes on and spending all kind of thousands of dollars on her. It's not going to do anything until she makes a decision that she wants to change. You wanting her to change is not gonna do nothing. It's not gonna do nothing. That's just it. So make sure you change your locks. I would change my phone number too, because I would make sure she didn't call me. Question number 16, female, 21 to 25, from Ohio. Deb, do you have any advice for a young woman who wants to move somewhere far from home and start fresh? I am currently in my 4th year of college, although I will be graduating late because I'm a semester behind. I have lived in this small city my whole life. I feel like I'm not who I truly want to be, and instead I have been living according to what others want. And it doesn't help when you come from a conservative family and live in a community where everyone knows everyone's business. I desperately want to finish school and move from here, far from here. Unfortunately, I don't have a very sought-after degree. It's political science. So it's not like I could get a decent paying job right out of school. I also have no skills, and I have no idea what I want to do with my life. What advice would you give? What should I do from now to prepare for my future? You in your final semester? Semester behind. What I would suggest is that you take some kind of course. Make sure that you know how to use. You can type. You need to be able to type at least 50 words a minute accurately. You need to know how to use Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, and Microsoft PowerPoint. If you can do those things, you can get a job. Okay? Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and Microsoft PowerPoint. Typing, that's using Windows system, typing 50 words per minute accurately. You got them 4 things under your belt, you can get a job. You can get a job like, word processors, and they make pretty decent money. You sit there and type all day, but you do that for a couple of months, and while you look for a job with your major. Now, what can you do with political science major? Go to, I don't know what they have in Ohio. Here we have something called the Employment Development Department. It's a free job service offered through the state of California. I'm sure they probably have something similar. And you go there and they have you take aptitude tests. And they will tell you with what you know and what you have learned, what kind of jobs you can investigate. And they help you look for them. They actually help you, and it's free. You just have to go there. So those are 2 suggestions that I have. And, even if you got a job with a temp agency, it's still work, and you'll get, exposure to different industries, different employers, and you'll make money, and you'll get some work experience. Okay? So, but you got to know, like I said, how to type accurately, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint. You got them four things under your belt, you be all right. See, they're putting some stuff in there in the chat stream too about stuff. So look in there, and you might even get some more ideas. Okay. They're very helpful. The audience is very helpful. And these people here from all over the world. So no matter where you are on this planet, there's going to be somebody who lives in this area, in your area, in this chat, or that comes and watches the video later. So circle back in a week or two or so and look at the comments that have been approved under this video and see if someone says anything else about, job search issues and things, options that you can use in Ohio. Okay? So do that. Yeah. You guys are good. You guys are great. Thanks, Jennifer. Okay, question number. Oh, and then once you get all that, you get some work experience, then you can start applying for jobs in your field in other places. But by then you feel a little more confident because you have some work experience and you have some money. Okay? Question number 17. This is a male, 40 to 45 from New Haven, Connecticut. I am so angry right now, he says. My wife of 1 year hid the fact that she has a luxury apartment in another country and gets $2,400 a month rental income from it. To rewind a bit, we met about 2 years ago and got married a year ago. Although it's a sacrifice for me, I agreed to pay for all household bills, which includes the mortgage, utilities, and all she pays is half of groceries and for her car. When we got married, she explained that she has family in an Eastern Bloc European country who she has to fully support, so I agreed to pay our household bills that amount to 60% of my salary. Plus, as a man, I don't mind paying. Cut to a few days ago. I talked to her relatives on the phone when they were asking for plane tickets to find out that she doesn't support them at all when she confessed to me. It turns out she has a luxury, I don't know what these letters stand for, CAD apartment, 600,000 CAD apartment there that she rents out and has been saving all that money on the side. I am thinking of moving out for a while. I wonder what else was a lie. What should I do? What would I do if I were you? I would file for divorce and take half. That's what I would do. Now, you can't get half of the apartment in the other country, but you could get half of that money she been collecting while she been dipping in your pocket, claiming that she's supporting relatives and all this stuff over here. That's what I would do. I would get my fucking money back. Is that what that means? CAD? But it's a luxury 600,000 CAD apartment. Whatever it is, she getting $2,400 a month from it, so that ain't so cheap. She getting some money. She's getting some money, and she's been getting it all this time. That's what I would do. I'd be like, you ain't gonna play me like that. I don't care if it is only about $25,000. I want my half. It's mine. And I've been supporting you and everything and struggling, spending 60% of my income, and you banking $2,500 a month? Nah. I would be knee deep in her account. And then I don't know, then I would be through. CAD? No, this says 600,000. Oh, Canadian dollar? Okay, I don't know. This says CAD. He just said it was in another country. Okay, here we go. Question number 18, female, 37 to 45 from Virginia. Hi, Deb. You are amazing and smart, which is why I'm here. I'm 42 with 1 kid and dating a 36-year-old man that has 3 kids and 2 baby mamas. Okay, so he's younger than you, and he's got 3 kids with 2 baby mamas. He is handsome and nice, but broke and cheap. He fixes things around my house, but he gets too comfy too quick and wants to stay here with his 2-year-old twins tearing up my house. I tell him not to come over sometimes so I can have a break, but I miss him when he's not here. There are red flags like his powder habit, baby mama drama, and not taking me out. I own my own home, car, and have investments. He has a room at his cousin's house. Is this man using me? How do I kick him to the curb with no regrets? Thank you. Well, you just think like this. When he runs out of money All that nice stuff you have in your house is going to start disappearing. Then he's going to ask for money, or he's going to just start taking out your purse. And he's going to be watching. He's going to be missing, you're going to be missing some checks in the back of your checkbook that you haven't checked to see if they're still there. They're going to be gone, and your name is going to be forged, and he's going to have money from your account. This is what's in your future. This is what's in your future. Because you have a drug-addicted bum with 3 kids and 2 baby mamas coming to your house trying to, sneak and slide his way in there like he's going to be living there with some 2-year-old twins. I don't know what your standards are for a man, but he couldn't even smell my fart. I'm sorry. He would have to get away from me. And just on the fact that you got little kids alone, that's a no. And then you got baby mama drama. Oh, triple no, because that's 2 of them, right? So that's a triple. And then you don't even have no place to live, so you're trying to live at my house on the sly because you got a room at your cousin's house. You don't want to be there. You better be at my house. And, all the stuff. He's going to ask you to put his name on your house. All kind of stuff is about to happen to you because you're being stupid. This is a bum. This is not the kind of guy you bring up in your house. You meet him out somewhere. Go to a hotel. Do whatever you're going to do and then say, oh, that was nice, and you get up and go back to your house. He should never have darkened your door. Shouldn't even know where you live. Ooh, y'all don't be having no game at all. Yes, anyway, yes, he's using you. How do you kick him to the curb? Just tell him I don't want to do this anymore. I want a man who's got money, who takes me out and has his own place, who has his own car and doesn't have toddlers and baby mamas. So everything that I don't want, you are. There's no future for me here. Thank you, Mo. Oh, it is? Good for you. That's what you do. That's how you do it, girl. And don't do this anymore, okay? Don't do this to yourself anymore. Don't let no dusty bums even know where you live, Mo. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. They don't need to come up to your house unless he's got some shit that's matching what you got. Like he got his own house, so y'all can go, you go to his house sometime, you come to your house sometime. You know what I mean? No little kid, you 42, you don't need to be bothered with that. And you definitely don't need no baby mama drama. Don't even do that to yourself. You got your shit together. Good for you. Got your own house and stuff. That's what I'm talking about. But I'm good. I'm proud of you. Good job. Get rid of the dust. Question 19, female, 225 from San Diego, California. My boyfriend of a year and I just moved into our very first apartment. He's in the military while I work for a nonprofit. Oh, that means you don't make no money. Before we moved in, he told me that his military would pay $1,500 of rent so we can get a more expensive place. I wasn't very excited for a more expensive place, but he ended up doing all the paperwork for an apartment that he told me was $19.99 a month. I decided to do some research on the place, and when I looked it up on their website, their pricing was between $17 and $18.50. That was a red flag that something wasn't right. The second thing I found out was that he wanted me to pay half of $2,000 for the apartment. Didn't make sense to me, as his job would be paying $1,500, unless there's something else he's not telling me. I tried to talk to him about it, but he ignored me. I was a bit upset, but I thought $1,000 would include all the other bills as well, such as electricity, water, etc., until I found out last night that I'd have to pay half of those too. I was trying to discuss the rent amount and what happened to the other plan again. He wants all the more expensive stuff even when he can't afford it, but still wants us to get it and pay for half. I didn't agree to any of these things. He just kind of pushed me into all of this. My anxiety is through the roof with what else I have to be paying that I don't know about. Lastly, he's been so secretive with his phone. I found out women have been adding him on Snapchat with his phone number. I saw the ooh-wee pics he sent and how he texts someone late at night but turned his phone off quickly if I glanced his way. However, he denied any wrongdoing. This is my first time moving in with someone after living with my parents. Please don't be harsh. I know I messed up a lot by not demanding answers. I'm not sure if I should suck it up and stay or if I should leave and go back to my parents. I almost left yesterday, but my friends recommended I try talking with him and see where it goes, which didn't go anywhere. Just to be clear, I'm not saying I expected him to pay more or pay all of it. I just wanted it to be within my budget and pay 50-50 for everything. But he said not to worry about it because his work would pay $1,500 for the rent. Pack your stuff and leave tomorrow. Since it's so late tonight, leave tomorrow. And tell him that you're not going to be paying half and that $1,500 that his job is paying plus whatever he wants to pay should be enough to pay for his fancy apartment, and then he can buy all the fancy stuff that he wants, and you're going to go back to your parents' house and save your money so when you move out you can buy a house. You're not going to be renting an apartment. That's what you're going to do. Okay? And you want to give some money to somebody, give some to your parents and help them out. That's what you do. You don't be doing something like this with some knucklehead trying to pimp you. Pfft, please, he could live in a pup tent on the base for all I care. I don't care what you do. But you ain't get no money from me. But you pack your stuff, you get the fuck out of there tomorrow. And that means that since you didn't really know how much the rent was, that means you're not on the lease, so you're not on the hook. That's what that means, because otherwise you would have seen what the amount was, because you would have had to sign the paperwork. But since you didn't sign nothing, that means you're free to go. That's how I used to run my stuff when I moved in with men. I didn't sign shit. This is your apartment. And as soon as they got on my nerves, I was boop, up and out. Without even so much as a goodbye in 2 cases. I just left. They came back and was looking around. Oh, look like all her stuff is gone. They called. Well, how come where's your stuff? Oh, I moved. I'm done. This relationship is over. It's a wrap. Don't call me no more. That's how that ended. Let's move on. Question number 20. We got 7 more to go. Female 37 to 45 from San Diego. Hi, Deb. My older sister's 40 and is getting married next year. Here's the dilemma. Her fiance is 45 and is still living with his mama. My sister told me that they're in a 50-50 relationship, and after the wedding, he is going to stay with his mom. Meanwhile, she would continue to live in her home. What? She has advised me to get into a 50-50 relationship as well because I am too old to have a man provide for me. How can I tell her that her advice is dumb and how her situation will not work? How do you tell her that her situation is dumb? You say your situation is dumb. I mean, what we need to say it in sign language? Smoke signals? Carrot pigeon? What? What are you doing? Why can't you just open your mouth and everything that you just wrote here, why you can tell her that? You married a mama's boy bum because you're 40 years old and you're desperate to get married. I'm not. So no, I shan't be doing any of that. I'm like, he is going to stay with his mama in a 50-50 relationship. Wow. Yeah, your sister's stupid, okay? Don't listen to her, and you can quote me on that. Question number 21, female 30 to 35 from Chicago. My boyfriend says he wants an open relationship, but I don't think he wants it for the right reasons. Okay, please enlighten me what the right reasons are. Ooh. Wow. We're both 31 and been together for just over 3 years. He has often said that he wants an open relationship but doesn't actually take action or doesn't want to put any effort into preparing for one. The whole thing takes a lot of communication guidelines and rules, and he never puts the effort into that, but is often frustrated that I get upset because he's been clear about it since the beginning. He put that in quotes. I feel that if he's the one who wants it, at least he should put an effort into looking into it and trying to talk to me about it or preparing for it. I also feel like he wants an open relationship for strange reasons. On a normal day-to-day basis, we live with each other. He's really loving and attached to me, and these stuffs rarely come up. I know he's happy with me, but sometimes he has these ideas of what a, quote, man should be, i.e. someone who is unattached and can do whatever he wants whenever he wants. So he feels like he's missing out on life by not being free and unattached. But at the same time, he really loves me and cares for me and loves being with me. So I feel like he is more enamored with this weird idea of being free rather than the fact that he wants the relationship to be open. Obviously, the whole thing is confusing for me and leaves me doubting myself often. I care for him a lot, and as I said, on a day-to-day basis, he is truly adorable and a genuinely nice guy, super supportive, etc. The relationship works so well, and we are genuinely meant for each other. So I feel like I'm getting mixed signals from him, and obviously I feel paranoid. Any advice or clarity as to what's going on here or what I should do? Yes, you are allowing this man to be disrespectful. Now, the fact that you feel like this is such a great situation and all this stuff is kind of amazing to me. Because to me, a man telling me that he wants to have an open relationship, That is the, you know how they say the death knoll? That's what that is. The bell of death is ringing in the relationship. Oh, what was that I just heard? Oh, that means that bell signifies the end of this round, and then you're out. That's what that means, because this wouldn't work for me. Now the other thing, you know how Deb loves to do the fight fire with fire thing. I'd be like, yeah, let's do that. Let's have an open relationship. And then I would crack open the web page like Craigslist, and just to fuck with them, right? I'd be looking on one of them sites where they have people that, you know, like to cheat and all this kind of stuff. And I'd be looking. Ooh, look at him. He looks like a good one. That looks like a good one for an open relationship. See, in his mind, it's like it's gonna be a woman. Oh no. Because if we're gonna do this, we're gonna start with what I want, which is I want to have two guys. And this, I like this one right here. I'm gonna call him up and see what he's talking about. I would fuck with him. And I would put on just an Academy Award-winning performance, just talking about how wonderful it would be and all these fantasy things, you know, because you could read, like I said, you could go on these websites and read these fantasy stories, right? Just memorize a couple of them. Recite those back to him. Yeah, because I thought it would be like this and we could do that. And then, oh, and I bet you he could do this and that. Oh, and I always thought about doing this. Girl, just send his ass to Mars. Send him to the moon. Be like, yeah, this is the best idea you ever had. That's what I've just been like, because, you know, quiet as it's kept, doing it with you has gotten kind of boring. You only have like 3 basic moves. And it's like, oh, I need something new. So, yeah, this is a good idea. I'm glad you thought of that. I would wear him out. I would wear him out. Don't talk crazy to me. You don't even understand how to talk crazy. I'm going to show you how to do it. Yeah. Yeah. He's only talking to you like that because he knows it's upsetting you. That's why you flip it around. You want to, let's see how much more upset you can get than me. Let's have a contest. And I bet you I'm going to win. Yeah. But, you know, this kind of thing, I wouldn't, and people be like, how could you treat your man like that? Once he said that to me, he ceased to be my man. So now I'm going into game mindfuck mode. And in that moment, I turn into a street savage, and my sole goal is to fuck you over, make you cry, make you depressed, and make you have PTSD for the rest of your life every time you think about me. I'm going to crack my knuckles and we're going to start. Because you just set the tone with that comment right there. And it's going to be on like Donkey Kong. Don't ask me to stay with you, to love you, nothing, because it's over. But I'm not going to say that to him. I'm not going to say them words. I'm just looking at him, and I'll be like, oh, is that what we're doing? And then Deb is going to get started. I'm telling you. He would be sorry. And I would make him sorry. And after I fucked him over and had him upset, then I would leave him. Question number 22. Female, 18 to 21 from Tucson, Arizona. I never thought this was a problem, but people around me talk so much about it. I never had a problem, thankfully, because I dealt with trifling ass dudes and situationship baiters when I was a teen. I would get so invested in my crushes, but they were really manipulating and loved when girls chased them. So I learned lessons through the years and stopped being so crazy from attention from boys when I was like 15, 17. I don't go out of my way to date or look for guys to date. I just don't care. But saw some old friends recently who said, you still don't have a boyfriend at 21? They said it like 3 times. Oh my God, I can't believe you don't have a boyfriend. Why not? They have boyfriends for 4+ years. Even my mom tells me, wants to set me up with her friend's son. My grandma tells me I should be looking for a boyfriend or showing interest in guys and smiling at them. But I don't care enough to get into a relationship right now. How old are you? You in the 18 to 20, oh, you're 21, okay. I have no experience with guys past just talking. I don't see any cute guys or any non-triflers, so I'm not interested. I mainly think celebrities are handsome, but I'm wondering if I'm really weird for this. I didn't think anything was wrong with me, but people around me are telling me that I'm too old to have no experience. I would love to hear your thoughts. No, you're not. You're only 21. You a baby. You a mere baby. And, I was talking about this with some ladies today, because one of them just got back from Jamaica. So we were talking about them Jamaicans and Ocho Rios and Mobay and Kingston and stuff. I used to go to Jamaica like all the time. And so we was talking about them clowns over there and how they compare to the men over here. And, she's saying the same thing. She's just had her 40th birthday. That's why she went. And so she's like, and her friends, they're all like, these dudes, something's wrong with them. They're just trifling. So, in your age group, the young men just don't really have a sense of manhood. And so their idea of a relationship is very twisted and odd. And it's just like, trying to get as much as they can get and stuff like this. It's just really, the culture has really changed. And men, for the most part, don't seem to value relationships and women in marriage like they used to. They just see women as a commodity and something to have to satisfy their needs, but not for them to really give anything of themselves. So for you, I think if you observe the kind of relationship that these people have, it would be a good thing to be able to say, oh, so I could be in a situation like you where this, and this happened to me. I'm not trying to be in a situation like you. I'm fine just like I am. You know what I mean? Just flip it back on them. And so they'll shut up. Because, you got to remind them that they want you. Sometimes, people they pressure you like this because misery loves company. They want you to have a man to complain about so they can commiserate with you and y'all can whine and have talk about, how your men dogged you out and stuff all night long. They enjoy that shit. But it's like, you don't have any of those kind of stories and you're not trying to hear theirs either. So they want to bring you into the fold. That's all that is. So you're doing well. Don't listen to them. And like I said, these people, their relationship. Next time they start to jam you up, fire back. And point out to them how jacked up their situation is or how they was whining to you about such and such and such. And, just throw it back on their face and they'll leave you alone. Question 23. This is a female in the 26 to 30 age group from Chelmsford, Essex. I guess that's, in the UK. My boyfriend is a mummy's boy. Mummy. And it drives me crazy as his mum knows everything about us and our relationship. He tells her everything about our love life and even our personal conversations. Oh my God. My boyfriend has a hard time taking responsibility when he hurts me, so he would tell his mother a twisted story and then she will say things about me. He's got BPD, that's bipolar disorder, and is trying to get help for it. However, this means he will constantly be hot and cold towards me. He hurt me a lot and I've never hurt him, but somehow his mom seems to take his side on everything and says things about me. I would sleep over at his house and he would disappear because him and his mom are going to the movies even though he knows I'm staying over to spend time with him. This means I'll be sat for 3 hours in his family home on my own, feeling super strange. He will also disappear for 2 hours playing games with her when we have made plans to go on a date. She also just hands him money all the time and doesn't teach him the value of working for it. I had to constantly tell him to work or clean his room, and she would just hand him money all the time when he asked. He's now in university, which is 2 hours away, and we made a plan to see each other on the weekend. His mom, however, inserts herself and tells him I need to learn to live without him. He's my boyfriend, and if we want to see each other once a week or every other week, why not? It just seems like she doesn't like me being involved in her son's life. Any advice would be appreciated. Did you ever think that maybe the woman's trying to save you? Did you ever think that maybe this woman knows that she raised a shit human being? She sees that you're too good for her son. She can't say that though because she's the kid's mother, but she's trying to let you see how much of an ain't shit clown he is. Who in his age, he's 32, takes money from his mother. Why is he just now in university? Who sits around playing video games and leaves his girlfriend by herself? Why are you accepting this kind of treatment and wanting to fight over him with his own mother? You should have humdiddle right on out of this situation and left to find you a real man, because this ain't one. You're wasting time. He's hours away. Cut ties with him. Say, I don't want to do long distance relationship. I'll check you out in another lifetime. And that's it. I mean, I'm serious. I would be looking at this as a blessing. Like, she is telling me, she's showing me what my life would be like. Full of loneliness, drama, and pain. And he hurt you, and you keep talking about how much he's hurt you, and yet you keep staying with him. You get one time with me. See that one time where he left me sitting at the house? When he got back, I would have been gone, and any shit that, that was his that he had given me, it would be laying on his bed, and I would be deuced out. Over. I'm not taking that. You need to reassess your self-esteem, young lady, and what it is that you want out of life. Because this guy is not really giving you anything. I don't understand. Question 24. Female, 26 to 30 from Seattle. Deb, I have come to the sad conclusion that my husband is jealous of our 3-month-old baby. Ooh. I am 27 white and my husband is 32 and black. Notice how many men are 32 in this week's column? Since the baby was born, he has completely changed. He complains all the time now about everything. We went for a walk and made it halfway down the block before we turned around and went back home. It took us maybe 3 minutes. In that time, he managed to complain about the weather, the mosquitoes, our 2 dogs, how I walk the dogs, and how I should do it this way, and how I'm too hard-headed because I won't do it that way. This happens with pretty much everything we try to do. We got into a big fight about money. He said I'm spending too much on groceries, that $400 a month is insane for 2 people. I spend $400 a month on myself. And that we order out too much. I double-checked this. I ordered out once a month for the past 3 months since our daughter was born. One of those times was for my birthday dinner. Then he told me that he misses his friend who I had asked him to stop talking to 5 years ago. I had asked him to stop talking to her after she tried making out with him and then sent him a 3-page long text about how I'm to blame for their crappy relationship. I told him to go ahead and talk to her again because I don't care at this point. Now he's complaining about how sick he is. He said he's depressed. He can't work. He needs to take medical leave and he feels dizzy all the time. Oh, $400. I'm trying to tell you, I spend $400 on myself, if not more. I like good stuff. Like I buy organic, free-range, grass-fed stuff. And it's pricey as hell. And I just don't care. Wow, this is, I'm sorry, lady. I know you don't want, this is not really funny, but this is so twisted for him to be this old and acting like this. I made appointments for him for a doctor for the dizziness, a psychiatrist for the depression, and a psychologist for some talk therapy. He was just prescribed a bunch of different meds that he's saying none of them work. On top of all this, he's complaining that I'm breastfeeding our 3-month-old too much. She needs to start on solid foods, and I should switch to formula. He's saying that we need to get a babysitter for her, even though I'm a stay-at-home mom. He said she bores him and that all he does is sit with her in front of the TV. I think all of these things are for my attention. He's done things like this in the past when I wasn't giving him 100% of my attention, but never to this extent. These past 3 months have been so much drama that I feel like I'm losing it. And we'll see, instead of making appointments to the doctor and the psychiatrist and the psychologist, you should have been making an appointment to him for the undertaker. That's what you should have been doing. And then go down there and say, oh, let's look at caskets today. Let's look at caskets. And he'd be like, why? I said, because you need to pick out the one that I'm about to put you in, because the way you keep acting like a goddamn fool. You pick one. And I'm going to start paying on it, because you keep acting like this, within a couple of months, your ass is going to be in it. And I'm going to be crying by your gravesite, the grieving widow, with your life insurance policy in my bank account. That's where this is fucking headed. That's what I would have told his ass. I just like, I like to say things that make men go, how could you say that to me? I was like, yeah, just pick one. Pick one. And don't be thinking you're going to get no mahogany shit either for no $20,000. No, you pick over here in the ones that's on sale. That's what you pick one of those. You pick one. Which one you like the best? That's what I would do. That's the appointment I'm making for your ass. Yeah, he just wants attention. wants attention. This is just sad. Ooh, he's so fucking immature. Okay, question number 25, male, 35 to 40, from Santa Clara, California. My wife left her ex 4 years ago. We've been married for around 2 years. Her and her ex are still friends, but I let her know early in the relationship that while I don't have a problem with her keeping in touch with dude, I didn't care to have any sort of relationship with him, and I don't want him in the house. Things have been fine, but recently he's fallen on hard times. He lost his job during COVID, ran out of savings, and some medical issues on top of that are making it difficult to get a job in his field. I'm told he didn't make last month's rent, and he's currently on notice to be evicted at the end of this month if he can't pay. He doesn't have family in the U.S. and friends willing to take him in, etc. I thought they had the rent. What is the rent moratorium over? I guess it is, huh? My wife asked if we could give him money to get him through another few months so he wouldn't end up on the street. About $4,000. I said, oh, hell no. We're saving for a house and a child, and frankly, I don't care what happens to her ex. Then she asked if he could stay with us for at least a month instead. I have said abso-fucking-lutely not. She asked if I'd be okay. I like this dude. She asked if I'd be okay letting any of her other friends stay with us, and I said probably. She says I'm being unfair, that I shouldn't let her friend get kicked out on the street because they used to be together. She doesn't want him to be homeless and says it's her money in her house too, so she should get a say. I've explained it a few times, but she doesn't always seem to understand it's not a trust issue. I'd have a problem with them being friends, and I just don't want the guy in my life. Now, I agree that it is her money in her house too. It's our money and our house. I don't go doing things with her that she doesn't want, and I would expect the same from her. Anyway, she's upset with me. I'm told I'm cold-hearted and unfair. He did nothing wrong, etc. I think she's taken a flying leap over an agreed-on boundary, even asking. I'd appreciate your take on the matter and advice moving forward. Okay, this is what you do. What's your ex-girlfriend? Somebody that she knows that she feels threatened about. That's when you say, okay, well, if he moves in, I'm moving in so-and-so. Bingo. She's not going to understand it until she understands the feelings and the conflict and the threat that this poses. That's what you have to do. Say, well, he's moving in, so is she. You want to have your ex up in here? I'm having mine. She's having struggles too, and I just haven't really talked about it. But I think, if this is what we're going to do, then we should do that. And then we can have both of them here and see, how do you like that? Do you think that would work? And just look at her, just deadpan, straight-faced. See what she says. She's going to be like, that's different. No, it's not. You fucked him, I fucked her. It's exactly the same. They're both exes. And they both are struggling, need a place to live. So, and we have a house with extra room. What's the problem? Watch her stutter and stammer and backtrack. The other alternative, see, this is why you don't buy houses with people that you're not married to. See, so now, she got to say, well, this is what we can do. I'll buy you out. And then the money that you have from your half of the house, you can go and move in with dude and save him from homelessness, and you can support him. You want to do that? I'll talk to my banker tomorrow about getting your half out of the house and buying you out. We can have this all wrapped up by the end of the week. Will that work for you? That's how I would talk to her. You see, you showing all this emotion and all this kind of stuff. See, she's thinking that she got an upper hand. That's not how you handle bitches. And I'm saying, I usually don't like to call women that, but that's what this is. This is some bitch shit. To have something, she's going to be bringing some man that she used to screw up in the house with her new man, her fiance, and all the stuff. And that he's just supposed to be okay with that. She's tripping. So like I said, it's time for you to roll up your sleeves and get her in her feelings, just like you are. Yeah, I'm with you, Tiger Lily, but the deed is already done now. See, most people don't think like that these days. They feel like, we're living together. We're going to be together. Oh, we're going to buy a house together. We're going to buy this, $18,000 dog together. We're going to buy all this stuff together. And they ain't married. And then it just causes all these kind of problems just like this. But see, this is why, dude, what you need to understand, though, this is the main thing I almost forgot to say before I moved on to the next letter. This is a value difference that is unnegotiable. You should never marry this woman. What is being projected right here is that she cares more about this guy than she does you. She cares more about his feelings and his comfort than she does yours. And yet she's supposed to be marrying you. So that's why I said the best thing for you to do would be to understand what time it is, get your pennies together, buy her out of the house, or just sell it. I mean, whatever you're going to do. And then give her her half and tell her you go and you live with dude, and then y'all live happily ever after, because obviously that's where your heart still is. And I'm not saying this with any animosity. Make sure you say that to her. Just that, it's a revelation that you didn't realize that she still had such deep feelings for her ex. But that's where she needs to be. Okay? And then you move on to a woman who honors and respects you and your relationship. This girl does not. And that's just the honest to God truth. Bonus question number 26. Male, 26 to 30, from Columbia, South Carolina. Someone online suggested that those looking for partners should make a list of awesome qualities they have to offer a partner. Someone online suggested that, huh? What are some positive attributes that you have to offer, Deb? I figure you know how to answer this question. I need to hear what you say in order to get an idea of what types of things I should be putting on my list. I am 29 years old in December, and I want to start looking for someone to be serious with and hopefully get married by the time I'm 31, 32. Thanks, Deb. Oh, that's good that you're even thinking about getting married. So make a list of awesome qualities that you have to offer a partner. I'm afraid I'm not going to be any help. The ladies might be... You all can, if you guys got something in there to say, you awesome qualities that, this young man might put on his list, give him some suggestions. That seems like what he's asking for. He doesn't know how to start the list of how to assess, his awesome qualities that he would have to offer a partner. Okay, that's the thing. So, put that, if you guys have some ideas, please type that in there and give him a couple of ideas, for how to start framing this. The reason why I cannot answer this is because I don't have any awesome qualities to offer a partner. I don't give a fuck about a partner. I'm all about me. Okay? Me, myself, and I. That's my love right now. I just don't care. And so for me to switch gears and thinking about myself to thinking about what some man wants and what I have to offer him, I refuse to switch my brain in that direction. I go do it. I'm not going to, I can't. I'm sorry. I know, and what you wrote is a very good question. And it would have a great answer normally if I was a normal person. And, I would be helpful and all that kind of stuff. But I'm just, the ladies might have some things, to kind of give you some suggestions. And you guys, come on, be nice to him. And he just needs a start. He needs some ideas of kind of what to put on his list. I don't know. And, but it's like you want to know, you specifically asked me, what are some positive attributes that I have to offer for a relationship? None. I don't have any. I don't want to be bothered. I'm done. I thought I might want to, but then, I don't know. I just like dating around. I just like, what they call it? Just hoeing around. I just want to do that. I just don't feel like being committed to anybody. I don't want to listen to your problems. I don't care about your mother. The bitch is old anyway. Shit. Both my parents are dead, so what's wrong with yours being that way too? Don't ask me for no sympathy. I don't have any. I don't care about your kids. I don't care about your dog. I don't care about your cat. I don't care about your job. I don't care about your friends. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear your problems. I don't want you whining to me and bringing me down off of my self-love joy that I'm having, my moment with myself. Listening to you whine and cry and your problems. I do enough of that on Tuesdays. That's what I do on Tuesdays. I listen to people's problems. That's it. That's the only day I want to hear problems. Okay? I don't want to be bothered. I don't want you come and ask me for nothing. I don't want you ask me what I'm cooking. Can you get some booty? Can you come over? No, 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 no. I don't want to see you. And you're not going to keep me on the phone for hours and hours either. People want to be falling asleep on the phone. Nigga, I got shit to do. I got to go to sleep now. Click. I got stuff to do. I have stuff that I'm interested in, stuff that lights my fire, that, makes me excited about waking up in the morning. And it's not you. And I know men just really don't understand that. They want to feel like they're so important, almighty important to you, and that the sun rises and sets on their heads. I just be looking at them. It's like, yeah, I just want to be happy by myself. You forgot to add that part on there, Iron Maiden. By myself. I don't want to be bothered. Even when they come, they do the thing I told you guys. I made the whole video about quest statements with the date that I went on, and the dude was doing the quest statement thing. That got on my goddamn nerves. I'm telling you, if he wasn't a friend of, like a friend of mine, so a couple that's very near and dear to me, I love them to death. That's the only reason this stayed quiet, because I was ready to lose my mind on dude. But it's like, they do stupid stuff, or they talk about sex inappropriately, or, they make some reference to something that's just stupid, or I just, and you're thinking, okay, these dudes are like in their 50s, and you still acting like that? Late 40s, early 50s, and still acting stupid. No, I don't want to be bothered with you. Leave me alone. Okay, just leave me alone. So, I'm sorry, young lad. I know that was just a long answer for what you really want to know, but I can't help you. Let's move on to question number 27. Female, 30 to 36, from Michigan. I've been dating this guy for about a year. In the beginning, I liked him, but now I'm having second thoughts. Sounds like me. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Now I'm having second thoughts. Wait, what page was it? Sorry, you guys, I'm messing up here. 28. Okay, so this is the page right here. The guy I'm dating is 42. I'm 36. Due to the pandemic, we both work from home. During the week, he is typically at my house, and we both work together from my home. But lately, I've noticed that he doesn't seem to be working. He gets up when I do and gets on his laptop for about an hour. Then he has a Zoom call, but it doesn't seem to be work-related. I can hear him and his boys talking about sports, stocks, and cryptocurrency. A few times I've come out of my office to find him on the couch, knocked out snoring sleep during the day. He also tried to convince me to log off early and take long lunches, but I'm not interested in doing those things due to my work ethic, and he makes comments such as I have no freedom and my job controls me. Last week he spent the night. We went out to get lunch, and his car was repossessed. Oh, hell no. I have been turned off ever since. He kept saying he was going to get his car back, but it's been 7 days and nothing, so I stopped asking. He's been at my house ever since, and he won't go home. He has his own apartment, and I've offered to give him a ride, so I don't understand why he won't just leave. Saturday, I went to have brunch with my girls, and he texted me that he was hungry. I ignored it. When I got back home, he gave me an irritated look and said, I guess I just have to feed myself. Took my keys to my car and left. He came back with Popeyes for himself. I want to end things, but I have committed to a few events with my friends, such as weddings, galas, and holiday parties, and he was my plus one. Should I hold on until after the holidays or just end things now? Girl, if you don't get rid of this leech, what you worrying about, some goddamn parties? Are you out of your mind? You going to keep it up until you have to go through the formal eviction process, because he's going to start getting mail there and establish it at your house as his residence. Kick him out. Tell him to get his things. You know what it is? Don't you have some relatives? This is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. Don't you have some female relatives or some friends from out of town or something? You tell him, I have my girls are coming, my mom or somebody is coming. You need to go to your house, and I have to tidy up the house and get everything ready for my guests. They're going to be here for 2 weeks, and you can't come over during that time. That's what you're going to do. And then once he leaves, you're going to change your locks, because he's been having your keys. So chances are that he's made a copy of the key. Even if you didn't give him one, even if you did give him one, change the locks so that he can't use the key to get back in. If you have an alarm, change the code once he's out for them 2 weeks. Okay, at the end of them 2 weeks, or about after the end of a week, while your quote family or friends are in town, your sorors, all this stuff, then you're going to tell him, look, this isn't really working for me. I don't want to see you anymore. I'm going to move on. I'm going to break up. And this, you talking about these parties and shit, like you can't find somebody else? If you have to take your cousin or brother or somebody, a neighbor, a coworker, I don't care who you take if you really must be a plus one. But, usually when you go to events like this, there's all kind of dudes that are there stag, and so you just hook up with one of them. I never brought it. That's like bringing sand to the beach in my mind. I go to weddings. I go to everything by myself because there's always some single dudes there. Sometimes they'll come to the wedding in a group of 3 or 4 of them, and they just be sitting there, and I'll be like, oh, just pick up. How your mama doing? And they always laugh. I use the same line, and then I have entertainment for the rest of the time there. You don't have to bring a man to a wedding or any kind of event. I don't know why women think that. I go by my damn self because I want to be free to do my dirt, and I don't want no witnesses, and I don't want nobody stopping me or saying, well, you came with me. No, I didn't. I came with myself, and I'm leaving with myself. Now, this guy, it sounds like he probably lost his job, and that's why he's pretending to work, and he's just hanging around her house and stuff. He hasn't paid his rent, most likely. That's why he don't want to go home. He probably don't have his apartment anymore, and his car got repossessed, so he want to be driving yours. So that's why you have to put an end to all of this. He's not on your insurance. What the fuck are you doing? He gonna crash up your car and stuff. Then what you gonna do? You gonna have to pay for it all yourself. You're not thinking. This is really a bad situation. Get rid of this bum. He's just a homosexual at this point. Girl, if you don't get your minds right and get rid of this clown, okay, that's what you need to do. Anyway, I just want to say this. Okay, first of all, if you want to submit a question to What the Fuck Tuesday for a coming week, you go down in the show description box below and you click the link that says Get Advice or Submit Your Advice Question, something like that. Click that and fill out the form, and it will send the advice question to us, all right? Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button before you get up out of here. That's very important. Like and share a video if you can. Now, I also want to say I just got news today that my dream has come true. I don't know how many of you live in the Bay Area and heard of Dr. Brenda Wade. She is a very, very well-known Black female psychologist here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I reached out to her because I thought, I know the woman is busy. I mean, she's been like radio, TV. I mean, she's like, I'm like a fangirl of hers. And she, I was asking her for a recommendation because she used to work with Dr. Nobles a lot. And then after he died, I wasn't really aware of what male she may have been working with. And so I was asking her for a recommendation. But lo and behold, she wants to be on the show. So on the 21st, Thursday the 21st, the show that we're going to have on single mothers raising sons, I have a guy who was raised by a single mom who was on drugs. He made it out and he's a huge success. He's going to share his tips for what sons can do on their own. I have a guy who worked in law. He was a defense attorney and a prosecutor in Los Angeles County for 20-something years. He saw firsthand the impact of fatherlessness and being raised in a single parent home with a mother, with a boy that she can't control. What ends up happening to those boys. And then we got Dr. Brenda Wade. This is going to be a discussion that I can't even, I hope I can talk because I'm so excited for what this is going to do. If you have a question that you want us to discuss and you're kind of shy, maybe it's a kind of personal thing, you don't want to ask it in the chat, I'm requesting that you submit your question for the panel in advance. Write to survivingdating@gmail.com and make the subject line, I don't know, motherhood, single mom show or something like that. So we'll know, we can easily identify what the question is for. We get so many emails. It's just not even funny. I might have to set up a separate one for all my show stuff so that What the Fuck Tuesday stuff will still go to Surviving Dating. It's just too much. Candace is complaining, and I'm like, what do you want me to do? Shoot, now you told me not to look at it. I'm not going in there. But, yeah, that's what's coming up, you guys. And that's in 2 weeks on our Tough Topic Thursday for October 21st. That'll be taking place. And, I'll have some other stuff that I'll be doing, some other kind of appearances and uploads that, you don't know about, that I don't even know about yet. We'll see what happens. But anyway, thanks everybody for coming to the show. And for What the Fuck Tuesday, again, submit your question if you want to, survivingdating@gmail.com for a future show. Be here next week. And please hit the subscription button so that you get notification for the uploads that I tend to do over the weekend as a surprise. All right. I love you guys, and I'll see you real soon. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.